Hello, how are you all? I hope you're well. Kamala Harris has finally arrived at the border and she's in El Paso, Texas. I would say it's already not going too well, and we'll update this later on. But here she is arriving at the border. We'll just watch a little bit of this together, and then there's a lot to break down here. Here we go.
How did you decide that right now was the right time to make your first trip to the border?
Well, it's not my first trip. I've been to the border many times.
As the person in charge of the response.
So, the important aspect of this visit is leading this visit after the work that we did in Guatemala and Mexico. Because as I've long said, I said back in March I was going to come to the border, so this is not a new plan. But the reality of it is that we have to deal with causes and we have to deal with the effects. So being in Guatemala, being in Mexico, talking with Mexico as a partner, frankly, on the issue, was about addressing the causes, and then coming to the border at the advice and actually the invitation of the Congresswoman is about looking at the effects of what we have seen happening in Central America. And so I'm glad to be here. It was always the plan to come here. And I think we're going to have a good and productive day.
But why did you know? What was your
Title
message?
42 be repealed now?
But why did you think now was the time?
Okay. So she says it was always the plan to go to the border. You hear what the reporter first asked her. Kamala, why are you now coming to the border? The reason they're asking her that is because we all know the real reason why now she is coming to the border, because former President Trump has announced that he in fact was going to go to the border, and he's planning on going to the border, I believe, on the 30th. Am I correct? So he announced this. By the way, Kamala Harris has been in charge of the border for 91 days. This has been a crisis for 91 days. So it's a little ironic that now, just a few days or a week after Trump announces that he's going to the border, she is finally going to the border. And she says, it was always the plan to go to the border. It was always the plan to go to the border. Well, what took you 91 days to go to the border? We know the real reason why she didn't go to the border, because she knew, we've even heard this as a little inside from her team, she knew that it was going to be really bad optics. So why would she be worried about the optics? And here's another thing that she just said there. She said, we need to get to the cause of this problem. This was always the plan. I went to Guatemala. We're partnering with Mexico to get to the cause of this problem. So now that we've done this is the second phase of my brilliant plan to fix the problem that my administration caused. And that's where the irony lies yet again. Who caused this? This was a completely preventable, completely man-made crisis, and everybody knows it. Everyone knows it. Biden, one of the first things he did when he got into office is he reversed three very important things that Trump did. He stopped construction on the border wall, just completely halted it. It was already paid for. All the supplies are already there. They're just sitting there. So why would you do that? But he did. He stopped construction on it, also costing jobs. I mean, that's just another effect of him doing that. Stopped construction on that. Stopped the Remain in Mexico policy, which deterred a lot of people from coming to the U.S. because they know that when they cross that border illegally, they get to wait in the U.S. Well, Trump started the Remain in Mexico policy and said you can apply for asylum status, but you are going to wait in Mexico until your case is heard. And that deterred a lot of people from coming. He also stopped the catch and release. So that means when we catch you coming in here illegally, we just release you into the interior of the U.S. So all of those things made incentives for people to surge the border. And that is exactly what happened. Everybody knows it. Go and interview any of the migrants that are coming over the border. They know it. We know it. And she is trying to deny it to save face. But we all know better. Literally, Biden had to do absolutely nothing. If he would have done nothing, we wouldn't be in this situation. And I recently heard, if I can find it, I'll throw it up, but research it by yourself. Several people might be going after Biden for dereliction of duty. And keep this in mind. This is another strange irony. While they're doing this vaccine tour, trying to get everyone to take the vaccine after they've locked us down for so long because of the pandemic, they are allowing people to come over the border. They're not being tested. We know that a portion of migrants that are coming over the border do have COVID-19, and they're just being released without being tested. They're being housed together in close quarters while they are going on a vaccine passport for us. Are the people coming over the border getting the vaccine? We don't know. Another thing is the cartel, the trafficking, which is the most egregious out of all of this. The people that are being abused, the people that die coming over the border because of these reckless policies. Everybody knows it. And Kamala Harris is more worried about optics. She is more worried about her political career than all of these people that are suffering on the border, whether it's the residents that live along the border, which are seeing their houses be trampled on, they don't feel safe, or it's the migrants who are being taken advantage of, or it's the cartel who basically runs our border right now and are laughing at us. We probably have one of the most unsecure borders in the world that is just being taken over, and we are the most powerful country in the world. This is reckless. She's going here now because she's been backed into a corner. She can't go anywhere without people asking her about when she's going to the border, and it's no one else's fault but hers. So we will see how the rest of this visit goes, and I'll pay attention. We'll follow this. It's already not going very well, and she's not very good at this. What blows my mind, especially with, if I can find that video, I'll play it for you right here. Whenever she's asked about, are you going to the border? She completely loses it. She starts awkwardly laughing and giving answers that don't make sense.
Just quickly put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well, I mentioned it because I know Republicans have certainly come at you on this, but Democratic Congressman Cuellar as a border district has said to you and the president, come. You need to see this.
Listen, I care about what's happening at the border.
You saw what happened with the first video we watched of her arriving in El Paso, Texas. Whenever she is asked these questions, you would think she would be better prepared, but it's almost like she stumbles over herself and just makes it look even worse. She's probably one of the most inauthentic politicians that I've ever seen. But anyway, I'm going to pay close attention to this. Let me know what you guys think. The whole thing is just funny. Kamala, come on, give it up. We all know the cause of this. We all know why you're going to the border now. And it'll be interesting to see Trump's visit at the border. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.